So we are going to back 2015 when I first time came into LCS, okay? So first time I came here to LCS as a coach, I was impressed about the players actually follow LCK style. 2016 maybe, yeah. I had Meteos, Sneaky, Impact, Jensen, Smoothie, and Bunny Poo Poo, right? Those 6 are my players back then. And when I trying to talk to them and trying to coaching them, they actually had a similar idea with the Korean style. What do you mean about Korean style is do not make the mistakes, going for 100% only, and if enemy make the mistakes, we will gonna punish it. That's the basic idea about the LCK style. That's the beginning of the split. And while I watch the teams play, actually most of the teams are follow LCK style. And review, I can assume most of the teams are, oh, after the players are died, oh, you died because of it's not the 100% play. You have to do differently. You have to like make the no mistakes, that kind of things, right? And also, I do believe NA follow LCK is pretty natural because NA import lots of Korean players back then, right? Impact, GBM, Dandy, Fly, like I cannot even count like too many, right? So LCS follow LCK is pretty natural because they bring the LCK players back then, and also LCK was the best legion, which means you wanna follow that as a behind the legion, right? Nothing wrong till here. It's makes sense, right? Even coaches in here, even me, until last year the Worlds, I was talk to my players, this is the how to macro, and this is the how you wanna play the game, and we are looking for 100 game % only. If you died here, that's a big problem. That's your fault. That was even our team, the coaching style. Cause that was the right. But the things are changed at the 2018 World Championship. We are jumping to the 2018, right? So 2018 World Championship was, to me, most impossible to win against any single team as an NA. When I got there, I was felt like all 3 NA teams are behind as fuck, and we cannot even win a single game. That was my thought. Like even Team Liquid, the NA was hyped up about Team Liquid, right? And C9 always like last hope about NA. No, fuck that. Like the gap was too huge. Like nah, Doublelift already choked internationally or whatever. No, it's not like that. Just the team gaps between the China teams and us was too huge. Even like LEC. I mean, to be fair, LEC wasn't that strong. Fnatic was strong. I mean, they did a good job in the Vitality was good and G2 was good, but probably most of NA teams are not struggling about G2 or Vitality. They struggling against Fnatic, RNG, that kind of teams. You know why? You know why things are changed at the 2018? Because of the Riot changed the direction about the game. They made Akali, Aurelia, which is like pretty strong individual champions, and the high skill cap champions, right? And not even just those 2 champions. Aatrox was pretty strong, and Victor Like that kind of, if you're as a strong individually, if you're a strong player, you can literally like at least the 1v8 the game. Too many champions was, you can say, arguably say, there is no counterplay. Back then, all the worlds meta, most of the worlds are doable and most of the worlds have some different champions, but 2018 was over from the IG and Fnatic, right? But that was the most make sense because Fnatic solos and what is it? The IG solo laners are pretty good at that mechanical champions. Those two teams are top at that kind of champions, right? And even NA teams, even we knew that kind of champions are good. But the problem is when we are get the Korea for bootcamp, when we play Arlia, we are get shit on. And when we play against Arlia, we got the shit on more than before. So reverse matchup or change the matchup or like team fight or split push team comps, whatever's are not works. And then I can easily say NA teams, not C9, cause NA teams said if you guys see the 100 Thieves, us, Team Liquid, you guys can check yourself right now. Check the draft. All three teams have a same ban. No matter what side you play, you ban Aurelia and Akali and Tahm Kench. Cause you cannot play against it. And you cannot win with it. You know why I'm talking about this from the 100% gameplay? Cause this kind of champions like Aatrox, Origat, Victor, and Aurelia, Akali, even like Lissandra right now, like that kind of champions are made this game more the skirmish. Like you can fight whenever you want, and the most brain dead champions jumping into the 1v3 somehow outplay the enemy team, then game is over. So right now the patch notes made this game more fight and more skirmish the gameplay. But this is the problem. So we went to the worlds, right? C9 and Team Liquid and 100 Thieves went to the worlds. And we learned from there to, okay, 100 game percent play, 100 like that kind of game plan is not gonna work. It's never gonna work in this meta, right? But what about the other teams? So I said earlier, we import a lot and we learned from Korea, right? But what about the other teams? NA had lots of veteran players and lots of experienced players, but they didn't went to the worlds in 2018. Means are they didn't learn that kind of things at the time. Which means are jumping into the 2019, when you guys are trying to practice and go for review, then you just say similar thing. Oh, this was the mistakes because we made a mistakes. They can like counter our play. It's not 100% gameplay. And then if you going that way, unfortunately, cannot survive from this meta, right? But most of the teams are in the NA didn't learn from the last year. That was the one of the thing. And you guys can easily argue me about what about Korea, what about LEC, how they adapted, how they are like better than us, something like that, right? But the problem is, what is the meta? What are you guys thinking about the meta? Meta. No, what is the meta mean to you? Yeah, in general. Optimal play, most correct way to play, just in general, right? What is the strong at the moment? Like, a lot of different word, but basically same mean, right? Basically, what's the strong? But let's think about, thinking about how every religion created the meta. Every religion have a different meta, right? how you can create that kind of meta. The type of player, by the players they got, like experiment, and by scream and winning, like a lot of things, right? But I wanna tell something, you guys. So LEC, we are talking about from some example from the LEC, okay? G2 is these guys are meta. LCS, Team Liquid, C9 is the meta. You know why these guys are be a meta? Because whatever these guys are doing it is the most stronger one. You guys say the way to win, optimal gameplay, the strong way to, like, the champions, something like that, right? And these guys have a 90% win rate in their Legion. Means are they win most of the games with their play. That's gonna be the meta. Cause if you're behind as a team, you're gonna follow the strongest team, right? You're gonna learn from strongest teams. So whatever G2 play is gonna be the meta. Whatever Team Liquid or C9 plays is gonna be the meta. Whatever Griffin plays is gonna be the meta in the Korea. So is that make sense to you guys? So after this, it's not like perfectly meta. I'm explaining only 20%. So what is the other meta things? Something like G2 is winning with the Zoe. Something like Zoe, right? If G2 is winning with the Zoe 9 of the 9 games, then probably the half of teams are follow the pick Zoe. And the other halves are trying to counter Zoe, right? And then even the others, like for example, 4 teams are trying to counter Zoe. And there is like Yasuo team, Irelia team, and like something like Rise team. 4 teams are follow their own counter pick. Depends on players, right? G2 play against these 4 champions, cause they are win with this kind of champions, and most of teams are follow pick Zoe, right? And then the other teams are trying to giving them Zoe, trying to counter it, and they are different idea about the counters. This is the how meta works. So most strongest team at their own meta, and that's the based on their own Legion meta. And then some of the teams are follow that, some of the teams are trying to counter that. Start from there, the metas are improve each other's. So even you guys says, oh, Vitality have their own meta, or C9 have their own meta, right? But it's just continued from there. Like C9 play Hecarim, but that time Aatrox was the meta, right? And we are trying to counter pick Aatrox as a Hecarim. So super simple, right? And then if maybe the Hecarim is become the popular picks, then someone else gonna trying to counter Hecarim, right? And then if we are already practice it and we decide it's unplayable matchup, we're gonna put in the jungle, right? Then we are trying to counter the counter champion to Hecarim, right? That's how improve the meta, and that's how like the legions are improve each other's, right? So metas are follow and counter top team. But the problem is, you guys are trying to say NA is bad, something like that, right? But look at the Team Liquid. They have a core JJ, right? From the Genji, the most Korean play style, the support player as a world champion. He's jumping into the North America and joined the Team Liquid, right? Means are LCS top team, Liquid, TL. They got the core JJ, right? If you have a core JJ as your support, it's a pretty good as a person, and he knew how to play game, right? What kind of things he gonna do? He learned the lots of LCK style gameplay, and then he's trying to doing same thing as NA. Then it works. Obviously he's world champion, and like I said about lots of solo laners, right? Like Akali, Aatrox, that kind of things. But the problem is they got nerfed right now. And support pick, Galio, Alista, Tahm Kench, like unkillable, good at protect, that kind of champions are rising right now. Means our core JJ can do a lot of things, and they can bring 100 game percent play again. Means are why you guys say, oh, Liquid games are boring. Oh, Liquid games are like not many actions in there, right? Because that kind of the game plans are, they need time for the setup the play, and they need time to make the 100% gameplay styles, right? Means are, if Liquid doing exactly same thing as a LCK style, not like LCK, exactly LCK style, high reward, low risk, and no big action, but one action are critical to movement, right? Like that kind of gameplay. Means are, if Team Liquid is doing like that and win most of the games, means that you wanna follow that one as a NA team. So that's why you guys think like, oh, NA is too slow or whatever. Hey, dude, our top teams are win like that. So we're gonna follow that. It's nothing wrong. And also, I do not think game time, the 5 minutes longer, means we are behind against any other legion. I do not think so. This is the one of the thing, like small amount. But let's talking about the other point. Let's talking about the C9. C9 is the other top 2 team in the North America right now. And then obviously we have a different players and different coach. We had our own meta, I do believe. And our players had lots of experience, even they are debut last year, because we went to the world semi-final, right? So we can develop our own style and our own, like, the macro, that kind of things. That's one of the advantage we had. We had most of players who went to the worlds last year, and they knew how to play game. Expect Niski, yeah. But the only one guy is the Niski, then I can easily change him. So basically, the C9 not follow the TL at all. So NA teams had two different like good example in the scrims, in the practice, and then they gonna trying to mix and make their own style, right? When I say follow, means are not exactly follow everything they did. They are follow and they made their own meta behind. Because they have a different player, you cannot copy 100%. So they gonna make their own meta and they gonna developing that one, right? So that's how teams are works, and that's why the NA teams are kinda slow as a game right now. But it doesn't mean they are that bad. And I do believe as a behind team, you guys need giving them some time for the figuring out the meta, and you guys need giving them some time for they actually can do it or not. It's almost the same thing as every legion, not only like LCS. I feel like Flycast and Flycast, C9, TSM, TL all have different metas. Yeah, at the end of the day, they gonna have some different meta. Cause that's the base, and then develop from here. But it takes some time to developing. But right now, at the week 5, you guys can easily see everyone have a different meta and everyone play correctly on their meta, right? One of the thing why LA have a little bit longer game time than other legion, I do believe G2 and Team Liquid, the two top team, play pretty different game, and each legion follow the top teams, and then based on the top teams developing your own meta, means our game play time is probably longer than the LEC game time.